First of all, what exactly is Junni Taisen? Well, Junni Taisen is a soon-to-be 12-episode anime written by the creator of Bakemonogatari that's this weird cross between Fate Zero and Fruits Basket. It's a battle royale where the contestants are named and referred to by the various animals of the zodiac, fighting one another for a chance to have one wish granted. How is this wish granted? Why or by whom? Not sure. Honestly, though, that's not the point. The reward for the contest is so much less exciting than the contest itself. We've seen battle royale shows before. They've come and gone, being passing interests or larger blockbuster-like affairs. But for whatever flaws that Junni Taisen currently has, it gets one great thing about the entertainment behind the genre right. Battle royales are best when you don't already know who is going to win. And with Junni Taisen, a show without a clear main character, it truly is anyone's game. These contests of skill and wits are gripping, engaging, and exciting in more ways than we can count. But to me, the thing that has always somewhat tainted the experience of these shows is that most times we already know the ending, because the main character is made clear from the start. We spend so much time with the camera focused on one character over all of the others, turning the entire contest from what could be a spectator sport to just a simple story where our main character must fight for survival. Sure, those shows have their own kind of entertainment, but they lean far more heavily on how the character survives the battles leading up until the end. But when there's no main character in the spotlight, we can still get the how, but now also the who. It's like having our cake and eating it too. It adds a new flavor to the viewing experience. Now, instead of just waiting for all the other contestants to calmly line up to be defeated by our protagonist and friends, we can focus on all the various individual battles that can take place that lead to the final showdown. You no longer need the protagonist to face every character in order to be able to showcase them and tell their story. Just do it! Devote an entire episode to them, then kill them off! There's only 12 episodes and 12 characters, so that's how it's eventually going to play out anyway. Might as well make it fun. Junni Taisen doesn't really try to make any of its participants particularly relatable. At most, they get an episode each to show us where they came from and what they're about, but ultimately the show doesn't show the whole story from their ideological perspective. Even Monkey, who at a glance seems like Shiro Emiya done right, is only ever seen as a single piece of the puzzle. Her pacifism is focused on, but not necessarily viewed as noble in the context of the other characters, who have more cutthroat ways of getting to victory. But it's the unknown elements that now make the story exciting. Who will win the contest? We honestly don't know, and that makes theorizing all the more fun. You watch a show like Fate Zero, and that kind of theorizing can't exist. If you've seen the story of Fate Stay Night, then the ending of Fate Zero is already known to you before the show even starts. What about A Future Diary or Batum? From the get-go, the initial episodes of those shows focus heavily on our main protagonists, and the stories that come out of that are simply proceeding down a checklist of the number of contestants in the contest. Everybody has to get some time in the spotlight, yes, but since we are focused on a main character, if you are not the villain of the week, so to speak, you might as well go and sleep in a cave somewhere and wait your turn, because the story doesn't have time for you yet. Of course, it's not like you can't gain insight into who might be killed in what order. The way that the characters act and behave around one another can be used to tell how far away their eventual demise might be. But even then, nothing is a given, and there is no rule saying that someone doesn't just have to die out of the blue. Unless, of course, you look at the show's ED sequence. As of episode 6, it seems to be revealing an order in which we get information and backstory on the show's characters, which also just happens to be the exact same order in which the characters have been dying. Well, almost. Now, if that order holds, well, we still need to make of it what we will as the remainder of episodes are released. It's quite possible that even this order is a feint to make us think that everything is going according to plan, only to screw with us at the end. This is from the director of Future Diary, after all, and while there are quite a bit more Bakemonogatari-like leanings due to the writer, I'm not gonna rule out a director's influence. Time will tell. So what did you guys think about Junni Taisen so far? We're already halfway to the end, and there's still so much that could happen. Post your theories down in the comments, just try to be mindful of spoilers. To a point, anyways. As always, a major thank you to all of my patrons who support these videos, as without you, they would not be possible. Specifically, though, I would like to thank Siriyamiko Victor Ekbach, Joshua Garcia, Yunru, Dover Queen, Robert Chunzai, Calhoun Boy, and Bing Theo for being especially awesome. And until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.